When people, one of the things I hear from people is that they're just not satisfied. And it's not because of the volume of food, because a lot of times these programs, even though the food is low caloric density, they don't give them a limit. But is that because they're going from a higher fat diet to a lower fat diet? Is that what the missing is?
No, they're not satisfied because there's not enough caloric rush. They need something with a more caloric concentration. They need oil, fried food. They need ice cream, a cheesecake, a burger, a pizza. No matter how much they eat low-calorie food, it's not going to be satisfying because they're not going to get enough calories until they hit the dopamine centers in the brain. They need the caloric rush.
That's interesting. I'm going to
Sure, the oil can give you the caloric rush, especially if you put sugar and oil together, especially if you fry something. French fry is sugar and oil together. So French fries will do it for them, but not just a plain potato. But maybe they can get that caloric rush with, with a donut or a pizza. Pizza really does it. They have the white flour with the cheese on top. They'll feel satisfied with a piece of pizza or a burger, and they're not satisfied eating plant food. I go hungry an hour later. It's not that they're hungry an hour later. They're just never satisfied what they call hunger, which is their need for this high amount of calories that infiltrate the brain all at one time.
And if they've been eating that way for a long time, it's going to take some time for them to appreciate and to enjoy the food that we eat.
That's absolutely true. They got it. That's why when we call it enforced abstinence, people have to stay on the program whether they feel like it or not. They're not going to feel like eating this amount of calories. They're not going to feel like eating this amount of food. They're not going to hit their caloric rush. They're not going to hit their bliss point, and they're going to feel somewhat empty and fatigued, especially for the first week. And then they're going to feel okay, and they're going to get used to it. And the more they do it, the more they're going to accommodate to it. So just like you accommodated to preferring an excess amount of calories, you accommodate to prefer the right amount of calories. So I eat as much calories as I desire, but the amount of calories I desire is the right amount. Because you know what I mean? Your body gets used to it instinctually.
Sorry about that. We have a little bit of barking here. So what they're feeling is these symptoms of detox in a way.
Yes, it's detox. That's right. So that if it just explains why the conventional American way of eating is so addictive.
Yeah. And some people, I've heard people say they have, nausea or diarrhea or vomiting or headaches. It's a real thing, isn't it, when people are coming off the standard American diet?
I've even seen them get a low-grade fever and feel fluish, body aches. And so we're saying here that that's right, that the body uses these extraordinary means of elimination as a means of protecting itself from toxins. And those those symptoms can be uncomfortable, but the uncomfortable symptoms are beneficial to the long-term survival of the organism. And they should not be suppressed with Tylenol, with aspirin, with Motrin, with caffeine. We shouldn't be drugging away these symptoms of the headache and trying to use stimulants. We should just let it pass, let the body do its work, and let the detox finish its work, so you can get back in touch with your own body's instinctual drives.
That's why it's probably so helpful to go to the Eat to Live retreat, because you got them locked up and you give them the time they need.
It is helpful for many people. I'm very blessed to be able to help people this way.
Yeah.
And to feel that
if they give up before, they have to keep detoxing over and over. They just need to get through it.
Yeah. Even when my latest book is Eat for Health, but even when I wrote Eat to Live like 20 years ago, I still wrote, don't follow this diet. Don't change the way you eat until you study and understand the whole book and get all this information. Because unless you understand the nature of food addiction, unless you understand how to oppose that, you're probably not going to succeed changing your diet. So first learn about food addiction, how to oppose it, and learn how to deal with it, and what to expect. And that's going to enhance the ability of you to be successful long-term with dietary change.
That's what I love and appreciate about your work. You said something today, I wrote it down, brilliant. We are not a product of our genes. Our genes are a product of what we eat.
Right.
That's good. That's a good one.